Have you ever noticed that some customers enjoy friendly small talk while others prefer to get straight to the point? Some prefer detailed responses while others get lost if there's too much information. Some are bossy, some are friendly. Today, we're diving into the 4 social styles model, which classifies customers into 4 different communication styles. Analytical.
Could you send me a report or any documentation showing this testing?
Driving.
I don't want any excuses. I need a solution just to get it done.
Amiable.
Hey Candace, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day.
And expressive.
I'll be all settled in, snacks ready, and then bam! It cuts out. Come on!
Let's start with analytical customers. Analytical customers tend to approach interactions with a strong need for detailed, accurate, comprehensive information. They prioritize clarity and certainty over speed and emotional connection. As a result, they pay close attention to every detail of a product or service, and they prefer specific data-supported answers.
Hey, I'm checking out the Pro Max router, but I've got some questions. So I saw that it's rated at up to 1200 megabits per second, but is that a usual rate? And is that measured in some perfect lab setup, or is that what you'd actually get in a typical home setup?
Good question. Now, 1200 megabits per second is the maximum speed under optimal condition, but in a typical home environment, it averages around 900 up to 1000 megabits per second.
Okay, and those figures, are they based on direct Ethernet connections, or are they also accurate for wireless usage? I'm trying to understand any possible speed variance.
It's based on a direct Ethernet connection. Now, if it's wireless, the speed would be slightly lower depending on the interference and distance, of course.
Got it. And how does this model perform with multiple devices simultaneously? Do you have any data on speed loss per device as more are connected?
They often ask precise questions, and they may also ask for documents or written proof to make sure that everything is accurate.
Could you send me a report or any documentation showing this testing? I'd like to compare it to some other brands I'm considering.
They're also willing to be patient with complicated processes, but they also expect clear and correct answers. They like representatives who are not only knowledgeable, provide detailed answers, but also when they don't know something, they're honest about it.
Oh, and one more thing. What's the exact range of coverage in a multi-level home? I have a 2-story house, and I'd like to know if the signal holds steady on both floors.
I'm not entirely sure, but let me check on that for you. I know it's reliable within 2,000 square feet, but I'm not sure about the exact number, so give me one moment.
Of course, take your time.
Thank you.
Analytical customers also tend to avoid small talk, and they're not easily swayed by emotional appeals. So if you want to connect with an analytical customer, focus on data rather than appealing to his or her emotion. Notice in this following audio how the agent is trying hard to connect and appeal to the customer's emotion, but the analytical customer is gently brushing it off to get back to meticulously probing into the product's limitations.
Yes, Ms. Roberts, and it's such a great decision to consider a software suite. I just know this will make a huge difference in streamlining your projects. You won't have to worry about delays or missed calls anymore. Our software will take care of that for you.
I see, but what's the maximum data load can your software handle at once?
Well, it's designed for speed, so it manages most medium-sized workload. And really, just think about how much lighter your team's work life could feel so they can concentrate more on their creative projects.
Right, and what do you mean by medium-sized? 100 gigabytes at a time or more?
Well, it performs up to 50 gigabytes, though it can go higher with tweaks. And really, it's designed to free up your team's energy so they won't get bogged down in tech details. And ultimately, the goal is to help your team channel their energy into what truly excites them.
Oh, so it could slow down with data loads over 50 gigabytes then. Is there a way to increase that capacity, or?
This method of getting the customer excited could work well with driving and expressive customer, but not so much with an analytical customer. So a respectful, professional tone with emphasis on facts over feelings is best suited here. One trick that can work well with analytical customers is to complement their detail-oriented nature. Phrases like, "I see you've done your research," or "I appreciate that you've considered every angle of this can go a long way.
If you ever need detailed guidance, you just give us a call. That said, you sound pretty knowledgeable with configurations yourself. And I mean, it's always nice to chat with someone who knows their way around tech.
Oh, well, I do like to dive into the details, and it's nice to find someone who doesn't just throw out the casual sales pitch. I really appreciate that. Sounds like you guys have your bases covered.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Doing this will build rapport, validate their efforts, and encourage open dialogue, and it makes them feel respected and understood. Now, let's talk about driving customers. If analytical customers are detail-oriented, driving customers are results-oriented. They're straightforward, and they want to get things done quickly. They make decisions easily and focus on getting results fast. They will also use clear and concise language from the start, often skipping pleasantries or small talk. They also like to get straight to the point. For instance, they may open with, "Here's my problem. I need this resolved quickly."
Thank you for calling Question Tech. This is Candace. How may I help you today?
Order number 4829175. You sent me the wrong item and it's ruining my project timeline. I need this fixed immediately.
I apologize for this error. I understand how urgent this is. Can you tell me what you received instead of what you ordered?
I paid for the high performance router, but you guys sent me the basic model. I need the right one sent out today. Anything later than that, I will not accept.
Let me check our inventory and see if we can expedite that for you. Give me one moment. Thank you.
I don't want any excuses. I need a solution just to get it done. I cannot afford any more delays.
I understand. I will do my best.
Unlike analytical customers, driving customers want quick answers and do not like long explanations. They're not looking to understand every little part of the process. They just want to know how quickly their problems will be solved and what steps are being taken right now. Their speaking style, as you can imagine, is also brisk and assertive. They'll talk to you at a quick pace, and they also expect you to match their pace.
Hi, I'm calling about my delivery that was supposed to arrive yesterday. The order number is 567812.
Thank you. I see your order here. It looks like there was a delay due to an unexpected surge in demand for that item. Our warehouse experienced a temporary setback because several shipments were delayed and we had to reorganize our inventory to fulfill orders.
Okay, but when can I expect it?
Well, the initial issue stemmed from the supplier's inability to deliver on time, which caused a domino effect, and we then had to source from an alternative supplier, which introduced another level of complexity. So this has caused a slight delay, but we are prioritizing your order right now.
I get that, but can you just tell me when it will be here?
Sure. I just wanted to explain the situation thoroughly. Given the current tracking, you should have it by Friday. I just want to assure you that we're working diligently to get it to you as fast as possible.
I appreciate that, but Friday is still 2 days away. Can you confirm that it's definitely going to be delivered then?
Yes, I can confirm that this new supplier is set to ship it out today, and our tracking indicates it will arrive on Friday. You also get an email notification as soon as it's out for delivery.
Great, I just need to know when to expect it.
As much as possible, get to the point quickly. Avoid unnecessary background information or long explanations.
Okay, I hate dealing with lag. I have a smart TV, a couple of tablets, and my gaming console. I stream a lot during the weekends too. What's the range like?
Well, the range of our Pro Max router is up to 2,000 square feet, which is ideal for most homes. But if you have a larger space, you might want to look into some extenders just to be safe.
No weak signals, right? I need something
No.
reliable.
Definitely. Pro Max is specifically optimized for efficiency and reliability. You'll notice it's pricier than our other models, but you'll find that the performance justifies the cost.
If you can, minimize emotional empathy statements and small talk. You'll notice with driving customers that if you attempt to engage in emotional rapport building, they will steer the conversation back to the issue at hand. This is a sign that they prioritize efficiency over emotion. I'm not saying that you should never empathize with driving customers, but keep it at a minimum. Emotional empathy statements should not dominate the conversation. For example,
Good, because I had a pretty frustrating experience with my last router. I was using one from Flash Express and it kept dropping every time I tried to stream. It was annoying.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It's incredibly frustrating when you're seeking help and it feels out of reach. We understand how important it is to get the support you need when you need it.
Yes, well, I appreciate the sentiment, but what I really need to know is, will this router handle multiple devices during peak usage? Can it keep up with my streaming and gaming without dropping the connection?
As you heard, the agent's empathy statement is quite lengthy and expressive, and the customer just brushed it off. This is what tends to happen with driving customers. This would be a more appropriate response.
Good, because I had a pretty frustrating experience with my last router. I was using one from Flash Express and it kept dropping every time I tried to stream. It was annoying.
Hey, I game a lot too, so I totally get how annoying that can be. But here's what's great about our Pro Max router. It offers speed up to 1200 megabits per second, so it should really keep up with what you need. And it's more than enough to stream in 4K, 60 FPS.
This response acknowledges the customer's unsatisfactory experience, but it's not delving into emotional support, which is not really the focus for driving customers. It was just a one sentence, not so emotional acknowledgement, and then it got back to the issue at hand. So there's still some empathy statement, but just adequate for a driving customer, for a not so emotional driving customer. Since driving customers prefer quick results, highlight quick results in your responses when you see the opportunity.
Sounds solid, but what's the setup like? I don't want to waste time in complicated instructions.
Of course, the setup is pretty straightforward. You'll follow a quick start guide included in the box, and our app will walk you through the process. It should take less than 10 minutes to get everything up and running.
Perfect. I'm ready to order it then.
The most important thing to remember when dealing with driving customers is to match their quick pace and try as best as you can to sound confident and decisive. If you sound uncertain or hesitant, they might lose patience and respect for your expertise. Now, for a third customer, the amiable customers. If analytical customers are detail-oriented and driving customers are results-oriented, amiable customers are relationship-oriented. They value building a connection in every interaction over getting fast answers.
How may I help you today?
Hey Candace, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day.
They don't rush into the topic of the call, which shows that they value positive interaction as much as resolving the issue.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How's your day going?
Oh, not bad. I've just been juggling a few things around the house lately, but other than that, nothing exciting. Anyway, I just wanted to check in about a new router because, well, let's just say our current one isn't exactly pulling its weight anymore.
They also use soft tone and phrasing, and their language tends to be gentle and full of indirect phrases like, I just wanted to check, or if you have a moment. They avoid sounding demanding and would likely rely on the agent to guide the conversation, unlike the driving customer.
I totally understand. A reliable connection can make all the difference. By the way, what kind of setup do you currently have?
Oh, it's just this old router we got years ago when the kids were little. We used it for some light browsing, but now with everyone on their devices constantly, it just can't keep up, and I need something more reliable.
I get it. Sounds like it's been through a lot over the years. Are there particular activities that seem to slow it down the most?
Oh, definitely. My two kids are streaming shows on their tablets. I'm on my laptop for work. And my husband, bless his heart, he's always on Zoom calls. It's a full house. Weekends are a whole other story, though. Everyone's home, and the connection just sputters, you know?
They often appreciate agents who engage them in light conversations.
So weekends must be a real test for you. The good thing is our Pro Max router is designed for exactly that kind of demand. It can handle multiple devices, up to 25 in fact, without losing speed or signal quality.
That sounds like just what we need. You know, my daughter is just obsessed with streaming shows, and my son, oh, he's into gaming now. Just the other day, he yelled, Mom, I can't play, it's lagging. He was so frustrated. Kids these days, right?
I can only imagine, and with gaming, especially with a strong connection, makes a big difference. Pro Max can handle that easily, and it's built for high capacity streaming, so it'll keep up with your son's gaming, your daughter's streaming, and your husband's Zoom calls.
This agent's response is meant to connect with an amiable customer who values friendly relationships. By mentioning her family, her son and husband, it shows that she understands what's important to the customer. This not only answers her technical question, but also helps build connection. Amiable customers want to feel heard and valued as people, not just as customers.
That is music to my ears. Thank you so much for being so patient with me and explaining everything. I've had some bad experiences with tech reps who just rush through things, so I really appreciate this, Candace. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Since amiable customers value warm, reassuring interactions, it's best to keep up with their pace, which in this case is slow and unhurried. It never pays to rush an amiable customer. That would make the call feel transactional, which is okay for analytical and driving customers, but not so much for an amiable customer. To best handle an amiable customer, try to build rapport and show genuine empathy. Phrases like, take your time, I'm here to help, no worries, can go a long way. Now let's talk about expressive customers. If analytical customers are detail-oriented, driving customers results-oriented, and amiable customers relationship-oriented, expressive customers are emotion-oriented. Expressive customers often lead with their feelings and may express frustration right away.
Thank you for calling Question. This is Candace. How can I assist you today?
Hey Candice, I'm really upset about my current internet provider. It keeps cutting out during my favourite shows, and it's driving me crazy.
They respond well to agents who validate their feelings and emotions, whether negative or positive.
I'm really sorry to hear that. That sounds frustrating. Can you tell me more about when this happens?
Well, it seems to happen mostly in the evenings when I'm trying to binge watch my favourite series on Netflix. I'll be all settled in, snacks ready, and then bam! It cuts out. I mean, come on! Who doesn't want uninterrupted streaming, right?
Expressive customer may exaggerate for effect and may include vivid descriptions of their feelings.
I completely understand how annoying that can be. It sounds like you've been looking forward to those moments.
Exactly, and it's not just that. Last week I was watching the season finale and it cut out 3 times. I was so angry I almost threw my remote across the room. My husband had to remind me to breathe.
Expressive customers enjoy dynamic conversations, so try mirroring their energy for a lively conversation that'll satisfy them. They're also likely to use animated language and tone, so expect to engage with equal energy.
Now, that is definitely a tough situation. I'm glad you didn't throw away the remote. Now, let's see how we can get this sorted out. Can you tell me how many devices you usually have connected when this happens?
Oh, let's see. I've got my smart TV, a couple of tablets and my phone. It's a whole tech party in my living room. But honestly, I just want it to work without interruptions.
They also like to share their life context and personal anecdotes, reinforcing their need for connection and understanding.
Got it. A house full of devices can definitely put a strain on your connection. Now, let me just check to see if there are any upgrades available for your plan that could help you improve your streaming experience.
That would be great. I really hope we can fix this. I don't want to miss out on my shows anymore, especially when everyone is talking about them online. It feels like I'm missing out on life.
I understand how important it is to stay connected, especially with all the buzz around your favorite shows. Now, let's work together to make sure you're back up and running smoothly.
And thank you so much, Candice. I really appreciate your help. It's nice to talk to someone who gets it.
When driving and expressive customers are both upset, there may be some similarities. They might not have any problem expressing their frustration. But where driving customers would immediately get back to the resolution and solve the problem, expressive customers might hang on to their feelings a bit longer. This, of course, can lead to longer average handling time.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It's incredibly frustrating when you're seeking help and it just feels out of reach. But we do understand how important it is to get the support you need right when you need it.
Yes, well, I appreciate the sentiment, but what I really need is to know how this router can handle multiple devices during peak usage. Can it keep up with my streaming and gaming without dropping the connection?
I'm really sorry to hear that. It's incredibly frustrating when you're seeking help and it just feels out of reach. but we do understand how important it is to get the support you need right when you need it.
Oh, I know. It's just been such a hassle. I feel like every time I try to get something sorted out, I hit a wall, and it's so overwhelming, especially when I just want to relax with some streaming or gaming.
So while all angry customers can be challenging, dealing with an angry, expressive customer can bring a different level of intensity into the conversation. It may require a special touch. They may yell, cry, or sob, and could even become incoherent due to being overwhelmed by extreme emotions. When expressive customers are super upset, they exhibit the behaviors of a stereotypical irate customer. When this happens, your only choice is to give them the floor to vent and expect that it's going to take a while. But of course, you're in customer service and you got to learn how to handle each type when they're at their worst. And that's what my next videos will be all about: how to handle the 4 types of customers when they are super upset. You learn what to expect and how to handle them. So stay tuned. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you. Bye.